the mid lane, Honey in AD alongside Pooh in support.
サイドの選択権は SHG が所有していました。
We do see Rascal Jester opting for the Lucian ban early on here, followed by the Soraka ban from Hawks Gaming. Jarvan as well being banned. Now these are traditional bans, but these are some of the on the lower end of frequent bans, but still within the more popular bans of the LJL so far. Rumble going to be banned away as well. I believe the last Rumble we saw in the support position was piloted by Rascal Jester, if I am not mistaken. Akali taken away from Soft Hawks Gaming. You don't, they learned their lesson from the last game. Set banned away as well. Rascal Jester presented with the opportunity to take Ornn again if they so choose, and it does look like they will be locking that in. Now this will give Hawks Gaming the opportunity to take the Aphelios if they so choose, and then they will have their pick of the litter between supports and junglers. They lock in the Aatrox first. Wanting the matchup, Aatrox pretty popular pick as the matchup into Ornn. You do have a lot of pressure as far as being able to all in the Ornn consistently if he plays too far up. Tussle will be locking in the Aphelios as well for the side of Hawks Gaming. Rascal Jester, the typical response plays out as you will probably see the Misfortune picked up, but they do have to choose what they pick up. Elise actually going unbanned this game, which will mean that Hachimecha will be happy to pick that one up. Hovering, then locking the Renekton, the blind pick for Renekton in the mid lane is a bit of an interesting one. It can be flexed between whether Ornn and Renekton will be going top or mid. Both of them have the potential to be flip-flopped from there. Could be doing this in response to the Aatrox. Bit of an interesting choice from Rascal Jester to show this in the first half. We have not seen a lot of Renektons banned in the LJL so far. But Hawks Gaming opts to pick up their Braum here. Will allow them to pinch away at the support pool of Rascal Jester. Now Rascal Jester likely will be responding with the LeBlanc ban that we often see in the mid lane. A lot of mid laners saved towards this second half for the LJL. As I say, that does come through, leaving Hawks Gaming with their next decision. They can ban away the Misfortune, one of the other popular ADCs. They can take that away from Art if they choose. You do have the Braum, which we have seen the shield capabilities to block the Misfortune ulti, and as well the extra value of being able to block the Ornn ulti. You can block the Ram from getting through your team, and that can be huge for these team fights, where Braum is able to get a lot of value. Zoe banned away as well. Now, although both teams were 1-1 coming in today, Rascal Jester did have the hard matchup of playing first seed in Detonation Focus Me. They will lock Gragas though as their jungle pick. Not opting for the Rek'Sai can be a difficult matchup into Elise. But with both junglers being heavy AP, heavy in gank aggression as well as AP sources, Art is actually going to lock himself the Ashe, alongside Vivid locking himself the Bard for the bot lane. Adds a little extra damage to that bottom lane. You do have Art's ability to, while Ashe has the ability to deal a decent amount of damage, can lack in the face of things like like Aphelios, like Misfortune. And Rascal Jester actually not opting for the Misfortune, are kind of going with a little bit of a comfort pick here on the Ashe. And we do actually see the Azir being locked in the mid lane from Hawks Gaming, kind of answering that they don't need to know 100% which lane they'll be running it up against. Azir can kind of safely farm out, use his soldiers just to pick up the CS, doesn't need to hard commit to any fights or anything like that.
そこを SHG はかわして勝つ。
A few interesting picks coming out from both teams. The blind pick on the Renekton mid is what stands out to me from the side of Hawks Gaming. But we'll see how he is able to play this one out. Renekton often a counter pick towards the mid lane, typically popular into things like Kiana. But the blind pick is a bit bold. Or, excuse me, from Rascal Jester. I believe I said Hawks Gaming, but... Well, we'll have to see how Hawks Gaming and how Ramune is able to respond to the untraditional pick from Ninja in the mid lane. Now this comp does look a little bit dangerous for Rascal Jester. You do have the Ornn on the engage, but the damage can be somewhat lacking when you compare it to the likes of Hawks Gaming. Azir and Aphelios both have high potential to late game start shredding through a lot of the members on the side of Rascal Jester. But a high amount of CC on the side of Rascal Jester can be used, if they leverage it correctly, can be very beneficial.
それでは早速コーチインタビューから見ていきましょう。
はい、こちら福岡ソフトバンクホークスゲーミングのアウェーカコーチに来ていただいております。よろしくお願いします。まずはじめに、ドラフトのスタート、レッドサイド選択ということですけれども、こちらはどんな意味があったんでしょう？
We can see fairly traditional starts. It does look like Elise will be starting on the top side along with the Gragas.
なるほど。その上でそのドラフトどのような注目点
And in this one, you do see Cog now opting into the Grasp of the Undying. Wants that extra, little extra trading power, little extra healing in lane, especially against the likes of Aatrox, who does have a lot of healing of his own. Defensive sums coming out from the bottom side of Hawks Gaming. Knows that the Bard stun potential along with the Ashe Arrow, the cleanse will be able to get a decent amount of value here.
それまでの時間の稼ぎ方から気になりますね。
そうですね。やはりRGは序盤、そして SHG は中盤以降を狙った構成となっていますので、どうさばくのかどう仕掛けるのかが見どころになります。そうですね。
You can see here, fairly traditional runes from all sides. This time, the Aphelios not opting into the Conqueror, wants to press the attack, taking the little bit of extra damage in this lane. You do actually see the Omni Stone coming out from the Bard in the bot lane. Now that is a little bit of a spicy pick. We do like to see that, pick, or the bold call on the Omni Stone. Typically popular to just go for the Electrocute, traditionally on Bard, but Vivid breaking the mold a little bit here. The Hawk shot spawning out Tussle in the jungle will mean that they have a good idea of where he will be pathing here. Hachimecha wanders towards this mid lane. Not going to get spotted out on the ward just yet, as Ninja going all in on a trade here a little bit. Commits both dashes, forces Ramyun to use his E to get away. And Hachimecha walking across a number of wards here. Means that Tussle knows that this top lane play will be safe. Kog'Kog might find himself up a little bit too far in the lane. No Predator available to Tussle here, but it doesn't seem like it's going to matter. Flash E comes in from Kog'Kog, and he is not going to commit his flash. He knows at that point he is just dead. And that is going to be a clean gank onto the top side. Clean gank from Hawks Gaming. Just very good wards from the side of Hawks, just to know that Elise is not going to be on that side. No, you're not going to walk into a 2v2. Dasher plays aggressively. Kog'Kog just way too far up in the lane. And this is a second game where we're seeing Kog'Kog just a little bit too far up in lane, overestimating himself on the Ornn just a bit. Will cost him his life and a teleport. Now Hachimecha finds himself towards his top side. Ninja looking into the jungle, seeing what's what with Tussle. Gonna steal away a few of his chickens. Just to try and see what he can find, but nothing too extreme. Hachimecha is going to walk on top of a ward in this top side. Not going to be able to pressure Dasher as much as he was. Although you do actually see, a good trade coming out from Ninja onto Ramyun in the mid lane. Now, Azir early on does not have the kind of damage to match the early damage of Renekton in the mid lane. No teleport on Ramyun as well. Means that these backs can hurt. Ninja will have teleport advantage on him. Vivid with the Omni Stone, giving him Conquer at the moment. We'll have to see how the Omni Stone decides to, or can benefit him in this lane. Feels a bit difficult, if I do say so, but all respect for innovation. You can kind of see here Elise leveraging her early clear speed over Tussle. Will find himself a level up and a little bit of extra gold in her pocket, but Tussle does have the potential that the Predator, the early power from just that 300 gold boots purchase, does make his gank threat fairly viable. As Hachimecha looking towards this Drake, seeing what he can find, kind of wandering around, but good wards from Hawks Gaming is actually proving the downfall of Rascal Jester. The second time where Hachimecha is spotted out, is not able to go for the plays he wants to, as this bottom side river is consistently warded. Hachimecha actually starting up this Drake late, and after clearing vision, it doesn't look like Hawks Gaming is aware, but Tussle wandering down, seeing what's what. He will find Hachimecha on this Drake. Now he does have the bot lane priority for Art and Vivid to roam up to this. Ramyun already going to assist Tussle, but it doesn't look like Hawks Gaming is in the position that they need to be to contest this Drake. They hand over the Mountain Drake. And a good start from Rascal Jester to grab that early Drake, but as we get towards these first few backs, it does look like Rascal Jester and Hachimecha is just trying to deny Tussle whatever he can. Possibly a little bit of a mid lane skirmish coming out from the side. You can actually see Dasher trying to move down a bit, seeing what he can find, but Tussle calls off the cavalry as just opts to back away, return to his farm, hit that level 6, so he has the explosive cask available to him for that extra damage and extra displacement.
さらにミッドレーンにアート
in the next few fights.
ヘラルドを狙うようです。面
And
白いローテーションですね。
amazing use of the Hawk shots coming out. Art and Vivid are both actually up here, not seen just yet. They now are going to secure this the Rift Herald very quickly. Does give Honey and Pooh some time in the bot lane, but without any knowledge that Rascal Jester has already rotated up to here, does look like they're going to quickly make the decision to throw the Rift Herald up to this top side. And Dasher is forced to use his ult for the movement speed to get away. The arrow barely not connecting. Dasher uses his flash, but it's just too much. The CC from Hachimecha after the flash will lock him up long enough that he is not able to escape. Cogcog will be going down towards this bottom side where Honey and Pooh are trying to do what they can. The Chakrams actually putting in a lot of work onto this turret. But Rascal Jester has 4 members on this top side trying to race for the earliest first turret, racing Evi in the earlier games of today. I believe the first turret of the first game of today was around 9 minutes 30 seconds, but they are going to have him beat by about 15 seconds and actually push onto the second one. A little bit of a blitzkrieg style strategy coming out from Rascal Jester here, as Dasher is kind of left wondering what he is supposed to do as he just watches his turret go down one after the other. Honey does get his time free farming in the bot lane and will actually pick up that turret in response, but an overall 2-for-1 for the side of Rascal Jester. And that is a considerable amount of map open for Rascal Jester. Taking that early Rift Herald as well means that by the time the second one is available to them, they can put a lot of extra vision up in that top side, play around their vision and see if they can sneak another one off, or just have enough vision control that SoftBank Hawks Gaming is not able to contest at all.
なるほど。まあ SHG はこの時間帯大負けせずに耐えるのが目標ですよね。そうなりますね。ただ
And now, Hawks Gaming in a bit of an interesting position where now they're switching up the roles here, but Dasher seems to be the target of a lot of pressure as he wants to walk up towards this turret. He wants to just defend it, but Rascal Jester is moving as a complete unit towards this bottom side, now just taking one turret after the other, trying to cash in on as many turret plates as they possibly can. Tussle using his Predator, but burns out rather quickly. They will be able to clear the wave off and make sure that nobody is able to get away with anything for free, as Ninja is now forced to teleport towards Ramune in the mid lane. Honey getting some more time alone with those sweet, sweet turret plates, trying to just cash in on gold, get himself online as fast as possible. Hachimecha trying to just steal away some camps, but knows that the members of Hawks Gaming are sitting close. A little bit of a risky play to go for it. You can see some pings coming out from Hawks Gaming, as Ninja gets a good chunk onto Ramune. Now they back up 5 seconds on this Cloud Drake. Rascal Jester seeing if they can take any more turret blades off. As Hachimecha finds a stun onto Tussle, a little bit of damage, but nothing too extreme. Ninja coming around this backside here will get spotted out on a ward if he walks too far up, but Rascal Jester has more members in position at the moment, along with Cogcog in the having teleport, can come down to this Cloud Drake if Hawks Gaming decides they want to fight for it. And this early Drake secure is another good one, with both with the possibility of both Ocean and Infernal Soul available to them. Having these early 2 Drakes can get them closer to 2 of those game-winning souls, and it will be the Infernal Soul hitting the Rift.
ジャングルのところでもしっかりと視界スコアの差を広げて、そして瞬かでタッスルの位置を確認するこのアートの予測能力。
And now you can kind of see where the gold advantages are coming through, but the early kill that was on Hawks Gaming, or on Dasher specifically, has kind of been negated after having to lose so much in the wake of 2 turrets, the turret plates in the bottom side. And with the turret plates going down, if Rascal Jester continues their strategy of having multiple members grouped, doesn't feel like Hawks Gaming has been able to respond effectively just yet.
言い切れるわけでもないので、
しかも今ドラゴン取るテンポが速いので。
Now, with the first item completed on Ramune, does give them a bit of breathing room. He does have a little bit of his damage. Still will have some mana issues to work out, but should be able to circumvent those with relative ease. Does look like both ADs will be backing for their first item here. First items are coming out all across the map.
やはり相手のエンゲージスキルというのが非常に強力ですからね。
バードそしてアッシュですね。
Now, the second Rift Herald coming up, and this is what we talked about earlier, where with the top half of this map so open, Ninja is very comfortable walking in and just putting down vision in the face of Hawks Gaming, because they just have that map open to them. Hachimecha immediately starting up onto this, as Vivid just kind of zoning. You do have Ninja in the top lane, just kind of putting the pressure on, pushing those minion waves in. You don't want to give up that extra gold if you're Hawks Gaming, as now they're grouping around for this Baron. Does look like they're going to look for a fight here. Ninja on the flank, trying to find his way forward, but Hawks Gaming giving them the respect, backing up, and just sacrificing the Rift Herald here. A bit interesting from Hawks Gaming, they didn't want to all in just yet, and that is just going to mean that they sacrifice another objective to Rascal Jester. Hawks Gaming will have to start looking for some of these fights if they want to, because they cannot keep affording all of these objectives. The last Rift Herald netted them 2 turrets in that top side. And if they want to make sure that they are still in this game, that they still have these turrets to hide behind, they will have to start picking where they want their fights.
SHG ちょっと難しそうですか？
特に何が難しい点かというと、ディスエンゲージにかなり特化した構成を SHG 側が取っているので、エンゲージ要素というのがほとんどないんですね。
ドラフトの狙いでもその守るのが主体だと言っていましたね。
もちろんイーブンの状態で
Now, you can see that, oh, and as I say it, the Rift Herald is going to go immediately mid. The lack of, once they see that nobody's there, they're immediately willing to put that down mid. It won't kill it off of the first charge, but it will get a huge chunk onto it. A bit too aggressive from Rascal Jester. Possibly could have waited to see if they find any more members in other lanes, or waited till they had a bit more pressure, but now Hachimecha might be looking for a possible dive onto Honey. But Hawks Gaming, but Honey has his friends here. Now they're not having any pressure on this bottom lane. Dasher has his time to just pick up CS in that bottom side. Now Rascal Jester looking to knock down this mid lane turret. The Bard ulti will come in. The Ash Arrow barely missing, as he will eat a Moonlight Vigil in response. Elise going up into the rappel just to dodge out on the extra damage. Will get the flamethrower damage queued onto him, but ultimately not going to lose too much. Hachimecha might be walking right into Dasher. Dasher, I think, backed up and just barely didn't notice him, but he is waiting for the rest of his team, walking forward now just to try to steal away some camps. Very close encounter actually for Hachimecha. Could have walked a little bit closer to Dasher, and he would have had QE out of the bush to try and land up a combo onto Hachimecha, and that could spell a bad fight for Rascal Jester. Instead, able to make it out. Infernal Drake spawning now off of Hachimecha's back. Looks like Hawks Gamer going to want to start that up as quickly as possible, and this will be possibly a breaking point for this game if they decide to take a fight here. Cog looking around. The Elise repels in, but just a little bit too late. Is not able to find anything. Will be forced to flash out as now they back up. Doesn't look like Rascal Jester wants to fight here at all, but Hawks Gaming wants to bait them into it. Going all in onto Ninja, but not quite finding anything just yet. And that is going to be Tussle going golden, trying to buy on as much time as he can. The Glacial Fissure comes out, and the cask just to disrupt. As the Call of the Forge God still on cooldown, not available for this fight. As the bottom end of this map, Ramune is just trying to zone, keeping his soldiers in place and trying to knock down any aggression from the side of Rascal Jester. Nobody going down in that fight, but a lot of low HP targets. Nobody really wanting to commit to a fight and right away. Rascal Jester knowing that they already lost the objective, not worth taking any hard engages that they don't need to. Without the Call of the Forge God on the Ornn, they don't have that huge team fight disruption to try and keep the fight spelled out how they like. An unfortunate miss on a caddy minion from Cog in the bottom lane. Now, not the end of the world to lose that Infernal Drake if you are Rascal Jester. Does mean that you delay Soul slightly, but not the end of the world by any means. You can watch this one more time. Tussle escaping with his life here towards the end of this fight. Actually quite impressive. Now, with the lack of ultis on the side of Rascal Jester, it kind of means that they cannot commit too much to this fight. Ramune just looking forward, flash over the wall from Tussle, and the cask to make sure Pooh gets out after he uses his stopwatch. Burns heal as well there. But Ramune, slowly picking up more damage, will eventually start making it hard for Rascal Jester to walk out of these fights the same way they have been. And now, as we kind of return to neutral once again, Rascal Jester will start needing to find some engages here. They're reaching the point where their mid-game and early-game power spikes are not going to be enough to stop Aphelios and Azir from just shredding through their comp. So the clock is ticking on Rascal Jester's high points of power spike in this game, while Hawks Gaming seems perfectly content to let this game kind of meter out, go slow. You can see items being completed on the carries for Hawks Gaming. And you worry, how long is Rascal Jester able to keep up this aggressive positioning? They got a big gold spike, and as I say that, Ramune is going to be the target of an engage here. Ninja comes over the wall, the flash and the cleanse from Ramune. As Hachimecha is a new target, the repel is going to be able to get her out, as he is able to get onto the Krug camp there. And that is going to be two summoners from Ramune used, but overall nothing too terrible. Does also have to use the turret to deter any aggression from the sides of Ninja and Vivid. And now we kind of, the stalemate's kind of continuing for now, playing out a sort of slow neutral, but Hawks Gaming, they have the scaling available to them. They will still have to worry, as Elise and Renekton can both do a lot of damage to carries very quickly. But you will have that Azir wall and the explosive cask to just keep members off of your carries, just push them away long enough that Aphelios and Azir are able to get that team shredding damage all the way through the members of Rascal Jester.
止めることに成功。
And Kokog might be finding himself in a bad position. Does use a W to make sure he's not able to be pulled back, but Dasher is able to land his full combo and ends up getting CC'd for it on the return. Hachimecha throwing a stun onto Pooh as Dasher keeps the aggression onto Kokog. Teleport's coming in as now we might be looking at a fight here. Tussle is going to be going all in on Ninja. The Dominus will keep him alive for now, but Pooh will end up losing his life as Dasher looking for the re-engage onto Ninja, and Kokog will be able to take down Ninja. No, he flashes away just in time. Hachimecha losing his life on the top side as Ninja is short to follow after, and the fight is breaking out in the favor of Rascal Jester now as Art is kiting through this fight, using the Ash effectively to just deal multiple waves of damage. Now Vivid on the run as Honey barely lives to finish off Art, and now has to get away from both Dasher and Honey. He burns his flash to get over the wall as now Hawks Gaming looks for this Drake to see if they can just grab a free objective. A little bit of a scramble coming up from both teams. Fights kind of breaking up on two fronts as you have Dasher playing towards the bottom side with Kokog and Ninja, but you have Honey playing towards the top side, trying to deal damage to Art and the rest of the carries. So we'll watch this one more time as Dasher already has Conqueror fully stacked and is willing to just keep the engage going, uses his ultimate to say we're committing to this fight. And now you can see on the top end of this fight, after Ninja goes in, Ramune and Tussle get eaten by the Bard ulti, but are not able to be taken down. Then once Honey is able to show up, he can take down Hachimecha, even after the repel, and then it's in full chase for the side of Hawks Gaming. But they forget about Art, and that is going to be the downfall of the Azir as Art moves way deep in, trying to kite the fight outwards. He is almost able to pull it off, but Honey and Dash are both able to barely escape with their lives. Beautiful play from Art there, actually, as he walks through multiple members. The second Ramune commits too hard onto the lower health members and ignores Ash. You can see how much damage she was able to belt out in that short time. And with 2 kills going over to Ash in that fight, she will be able to pick up a little bit more damage before the next one. Baron Vision Control currently owned by Rascal Jester. As Hawks Gaming looks towards this mid lane, seeing if they can open up the map the same way. Ash W working wonders for just clearing out these waves from a safe distance, trying to hold on to that mid lane turret. Dasher running over the wall onto Hachimecha, not going to be able to find anything just yet. It seems that for now, Rascal Jester kind of content to keep poking down this mid lane turret. It's running very low on HP. Trying to use those Aphelios turrets to knock down the turret. A pixel of HP left on that mid lane turret. Oh, and Dasher again. Having this scrap on the bottom side with Hachimecha means that Hachimecha is not able to get to the carries and not wrap around to have that flanking potential. Ninja might be finding himself in a bit of trouble here as he retreats towards his top lane turret, and Hawks Gaming uses this time to secure the vision around the Baron.
実際先ほどまで常に RJ が握っていたこのミッドの主導権というのを SHG 側が取り返し出しましたよね。
あと先ほどからこう攻めていっているという感じに印象変わってきましたね。おっとただこれは面白いぞ。
Now the issue is coming to somewhat of a spearhead of, are we watching the power level transfer into Hawks Gaming's favor? Is Rascal Jester still the stronger end of these team fights, as the gold is evening up quite well and Infernal Drakes are stacking up for Hawks Gaming? Now, for the benefit of Rascal Jester, you do have the Ornn items coming in to help steroid the extra stats and the extra really just raw stats that will be able to push Rascal Jester up a bit in the power level. But will it be enough? You do have Azir and Aphelios completing items now. You can see 2 items completed apiece. working on the third. You do have Ash ahead though, and the damage from Ash can be considerable when she has the time to get that free fire off and utilize the Runans plus Blade of the Ruin King together.
また一つアート選手のキャリーポテンシャルというのはグッと引き上がるんでしょうが、
実際アートが他の試合でストップウォッチによるキャリーの重要性みたいなのを見せてますからね。
恐ろしい反応しますからね、ストップウォッチ。
Now, 40 seconds left on this Infernal Drake. Does seem that Hawks Gaming is sacrificing their top vision around the Baron for the vision around this next Infernal Drake. Stacking up these Drakes would be nice for the side of Hawks Gaming.
一度アートの高で相手の位置を確認。これでダッシャーがいることも分かりました。エンゲージを仕掛けやすいのはラスカルジェスター。
Now, it doesn't feel like Hawks Gaming has the pressure in the side lanes that they would like if they want to try and move in on the vision from Hawks Gaming, as the members of Hawks Gaming are just content to group as 5, keep it up. Ramyun going to burn his cleanse as he eats a stun. The arrow going to land his way onto Pooh as he is able to jump back. Call of the Forge God coming through. No shield to block that one as Ninja is all in onto Pooh. Will be able to knock him down. The Bard ulti coming in will lock up Ramyun, and that probably will be his undoing. But no, he flashes out just in time. The explosive cast zoning for him. Dasher all the way in onto Hachimecha. Will trade 1-for-1 there. And now 3-4-3. Members left. Vivid trying to throw a stun off, but Honey has the cleanse available to him, and that is going to be a victory for Hawks Gaming, going down at 3-2 and grabbing the Infernal Drake for themselves. And this time you can see how important it is that they get the damage onto the carries they need to. It felt like Rascal Jester was all-inning too hard onto Braum, and you could see that Honey and Art both go fairly untouched throughout that entire fight. Not a whole lot of damage onto them allows them to get a lot of damage out very fast. And we'll watch this one more time. So, the stun comes through, Ramyun is forced to burn his cleanse. The arrow comes through, and Ninja, all-inning with the dominance onto Pooh, may have not been the play as Honey gets a lot of time to free fire here. He flashes away from the Bard ulti so that he has time. Cog is just way too deep. No member's able to follow up, and the wall knocking Ninja back out. Hachimecha goes down, but trades 1-for-1 as Art has time now to just kite away. Vivid unfortunately will lose his life as he has the cleanse available to knock off the Bard Q. And you can kind of see in these fights with how they end up breaking out. Hold that thought. Hachimecha will actually be going down as he's found in the jungle, squashed. It goes the spider as Hawks Gaming now has Baron on the table for them. With the lack of a jungler, they will be able to secure that for themselves, and this is where they will be able to blow the game open. As far as now, they can accrue a large gold advantage, but it doesn't look like Rascal Jester's ready to give it up just so easily. Baron will be going down. Rascal Jester now in full retreat as they find their way over the wall through the magical voyage from Bard. Pooh forced to flash away, doesn't want to have to deal with the Ash slow. Dasher gets ulted and will actually be going down, not able to find his way over the wall as well. And now Vivid and Cog going over the wall onto Ramyun here, but Ramyun is able to get out, and now they have to try and take a fight into 2 carries. Cog is not going to be able to survive long as Ninja dashes in to just tag up a little bit of extra damage to help Art out, finding 1 more kill. Now Art using his W, trying to slow so that Ninja is able to kite away. The Q finds his way onto him, and Honey finds himself an extra kill. Art, the last remaining member, Hachimecha, now with respawn, is able to help out, but that is just too deep for the members of Rascal Jester. A little bit too excited from Vivid and Cog to go over the wall after you hit the ult onto the Azir. there is no possibility that Rascal Jester is able to get the follow-up there. And with the members of Rascal Jester being Art and Ninja trying to kite their way around the long way, they can't get to that fight. They cannot put the damage onto Ramune before he is able to find his way out. Just means that Ramune is able to not only escape with his life, but he's able to reconvene with Honey on the Aphelios, and they can start belting out the damage while the tanks are just eating free fire damage and not able to keep up. So watch this one more time. Now, you can see here, once Dasher gets separated, immediate recognition from Art, a great ulti, the Call of the Forge God as well, just to make sure, and then Vivid lands the ult onto Ramune, and Art and Ninja are forced to kind of get separated and how they have to go through the fight. Art is immediately forced to flash away, knowing that Honey's coming in from the flank and he doesn't have the peel available to him. Ninja goes in just to try to make sure he can secure the kill, but ends up trading his own life for it as well. And now, Baron still up for Hawks Gaming, means that they can pressure down this turret. They're trying to open up the map, seeing if they can open up on this mid-tier 1. Now they're trying to back up. They do have the Azir turret to keep themselves safe, with Infernal Drake spawning in 35, just so they have now soul pressure, and as well stacking up multiple Infernal Drakes just adds more damage to this already late game scaling comp. The Azir turret working to just keep the lanes pressured towards mid lane. So now they approach this Infernal Drake, 10 seconds to spawn. Dasher over the wall, looking to more scrap with Hachimecha, but takes a Blast Cone just to get it back out. Not a whole lot of pink wards available for the side of Hawks Gaming, so they could, or Hachimecha does have the ability to opt in for a steal if they choose. They start up the Drake and start dragging it towards the bottom side, but it doesn't look like Hawks Gaming is ready to take the fight yet. Pooh getting kind of chunked out a little bit here. The ulti onto Honey will force the cleanse out as now Dasher takes his opportunity to go all in. In the middle of everyone, flashes onto Art, trying to put pressure on. Pooh will eat the Call of the Forge God. Cog will be falling on the top side of the map. The ulti from Bard will lock up multiple members as Dasher is forced to get away from the dragon. Ninja now will be the next target, barely escaping with his life as Honey tries to pursue. Pooh just putting that shield up, trying to protect Honey, who flashes forward onto Art, trying to just take it to them. Now with the Infernal Soul committed, they have the fight win, and they have pressure on this game. Ramune finishing off the last member of Rascal Jester, finding the ace, as Hawks Gaming will now march down the mid lane with Infernal Soul in tow. They now have the ace, they have their game win, and that is a beautiful fight around that objective for the side of Hawks Gaming. They played the fights accordingly. Their objective, all of their fights around objectives were just played out so well. Rascal Jester, while they did have the early game advantage, Hawks Gaming was able to delay the game long enough that their late game carries were able to come online, and with stacking Infernal Drake after Infernal Drake, just the damage was too much for Rascal Jester to keep up with. Beautiful play from the side of Hawks Gaming to just keep their heads in it. They did lose a lot of early pressure, but with just stalling out the game, keeping it running long enough, they were able to find their way back, and they were able to take everything they need, just keep the gold going towards their carries long enough that they were able to come out on top in this game. I am going to take a